Hi guys, this is Erica from Gokche Capital. Now before I begin, be sure to click subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Joseph Lombardi doesn't pay taxes on his home, which is surprising because Lombardi is no longer living. So how does he qualify for a tax exemption? We'll find out at the end of this video. But first, if you are disabled, you should check whether your state has a property tax exemption for you. And in today's video, we have the top things you need to know. Number 1, what is the disability tax exemption? A disability property tax exemption is an exemption for disabled individuals that helps to reduce their property tax burden. It essentially lowers a home's taxable value, which decreases the annual taxes the homeowner owes. Number 2, how do I apply for a disability tax exemption? It's important to know that there is no single federal disability property tax break. Instead, all tax exemptions are at the state and local levels. Thus, we recommend you call your local county or city tax assessor to see if they have a disability tax exemption, and if so, how you can apply. Number 3, to qualify for a disability tax exemption, you will almost always have to prove you are disabled. So how do you do this? Again, every jurisdiction will have a slightly different process, but you can typically prove you have a disability using your Social Security Administration award letter or by providing a proof of disability statement signed by your doctor. Number 4, if I receive a disability tax exemption, will I have to pay back the exempt taxes later? No. If you legitimately are disabled and you receive a property tax exemption for this reason, you will not need to pay back the exempt taxes later. Number 5, if I receive a disability tax exemption, will a lien be placed on my property? No. Because the property tax exemption is designed to lower your property taxes, there will not be a lien placed on your property because you are paying a lower amount of taxes than you would otherwise owe. Number 6, will the exemption apply to my entire tax bill? The answer to this question depends on your state rules. In some states, if you qualify for a disability tax exemption, you will owe 0 taxes, but in others, it will merely reduce your tax bill. So again, check with your local tax assessor to see how the tax exemption works in your area. Number 7, will my property taxes still go up with the value of my house if I receive a disability tax exemption? As with the answer to many of the other questions, it depends. Sometimes when you receive a disability tax exemption, the county or city will freeze your property value on January 1st of the year you applied for the exemption. But this is not always the case. So again, check with your local county or city tax assessor. And finally, number 8, how long does the disability tax exemption last for? Not to sound like a broken record, but it depends. In many states or local jurisdictions, you do need to reapply each year. But as we have said before, check with your local county or city tax assessor to see how the tax exemption works. But now that we've covered the basics of the disability tax exemption, let's return to Joseph Lombardi. For years, the Cook County assessor received applications from a tan, single-story bungalow in Bridgeville, Illinois, seeking a property tax exemption for senior citizens on fixed incomes. Though Lombardi had passed away in 2013, for 6 years, someone kept filling out paperwork in his name, and the assessor kept accepting the application. Until in 2020, when investigators for Cook County went to visit the home, found a for sale sign, and heard from the neighbors that Joseph Lombardi had died years ago. And this was not the only error that the Cook County assessor made. In 2019, Jerry Cardarapoli opened his tax bill and was shocked. The county tax statement said he owned $0 in taxes for his 2 flat. Though Jerry was neither disabled nor a veteran, and had never claimed to be, the assessor's office had awarded him a disability tax exemption. Worried that the assessor would come after him when the error was discovered, he brought the mistake to the county's attention and paid his normal tax bill. Yet the following year, the assessor again awarded him a tax exemption reserved for disabled veterans. Jerry was right to disclose the error, for under state law, the assessor could place a lien on his property if he didn't repay the money he owed, plus penalties and interest. Which just goes to show that you should be careful with any tax exemption, including the disability tax exemption. If you are disabled, such exemptions can be a lifesaver, but if you are given one by accident or due to false representation, it can end up costing you in the long run. Still, you may be wondering, how did the Cook County assessor make such large errors in the first place? When asked this very question by the Chicago Sun-Times, the assessor's office could only say that thousands of people apply for tax breaks every year, and it is unable to review every application to verify the homeowner qualifies. Which explains how Lombardi continued to receive a tax break even after he passed away. But this does not clarify how Jerry was awarded an exemption he never asked for. I guess all you can say is that in any large organization, errors will be made. And in Cook County, about 13,000 homeowners, out of approximately 1.3 million, received an erroneous tax exemption, which represents an error rate of about 1%. So, is that an acceptable level of error? I'm not sure. Why don't you let us know what you think in the comments? Did you like this video? You're going to love our Gokce Land Due Diligence program. We'll make you a land due diligence expert in just 7 days. Check it out at gokcecapital.com/glad. And while you're at our website, don't forget to explore our $1 down listings at gokcecapital.com/listings. Finally, don't hesitate to reach out. You can email, call, or text, and we will respond as soon as possible. So thank you for listening, and more to come.